Sure.
Smokes down early. A little bit of pre-fire from Koala Noob does force out a flash, and that will be the end of that battle.
EU has his fatal. He is not here on the site.
Spot 2 players there over towards A side. He spots the Viper and the Brim. So it gives him a little bit of a read of the lay of the land.
Oh, good brawler.
Very well done.
They are straight up going for an op pick.
I mean,
holy.
So awkward, so close.
Max is looking for a pixel to peek through. Not going to work out. He will hold this position at Cubby, though. Xander has backed up to try to help out over towards Shower side. The spike is rotating, though, over towards B. Seekers will be called. The defense is going to get a lot of information.
Nice jump to make sure that this is good. EU has his ult for this one. Here it comes, minus 80. Oh, body shots, where are they? Oh, and the tether. They were down to like 20. Someone was on 1 HP. They only managed to get 1. Holy hell, Trent is doing everything. Big kill. Whoa, okay, Nismo. That was a wild round. Wild. Nicely done from Nismo. Trent did his best. It was just straight up raise show.
Yeah, he got the flash. Yeah, the nightfall came in.
That was wild. Dude, there was one point over towards long where I think all 3 of them had like 30 HP. Could have been a crazy spray down. Nismo did fantastic.
With the triple, saves the day and keeps this in contest. And
text bias op makes sense on the chamber because you can get the trip as well. It's yep, it's made for it. TP also. But they're gonna M80 are gonna expect this. It's just what you do really on chamber.
But they hang around and force extra rounds.
And the thing about it is they're starting to build a little bit of familiarity with what they want to do on the defensive
This is going to be the
side,
flash over
so
towards Showers and then the instant rotate to B. Flash goes out long.
Putting it together late in their defensive halves to keep things relatively
Bit
tight.
of pressure. Is he happy with that? Oh god, they push.
TheGuard walking up B long again, and Koala Noob.
Chat.
I thought
the
for sure he would
smoker
get
down.
at least 1, but not the case, and extra information for TheGuard that the spike is down.
Certainly can't fault him on the crosshair plays. It seemed to be dead on, but just didn't quite pull the trigger quick enough, and it's him going down instead. So advantage guard here on the defense on this first OT half. Spike still lingering over at Fountain. Slowly, we're seeing EU try to get some control of hookah position. Jonah P just playing for info. Jiggling here, does spot a couple. We'll go ahead and back off, just trying to play the numbers.
Rest of the defense not going to move, though.
3 people here.
On the site. And a lot of the defensive
Valorant has all 3 smokes to delay this.
Doesn't see how many M80 members are still here, so this will be a little bit questionable, I would say, as far as what the guard are facing up
HUD's
against.
frozen again, right? There's no way that
they're
thingy smoke. Like,
on rotation right now is
HUD's frozen.
on the way. Oh, what a molly that is. Chips away at so many health pools. Jonah P will follow up and make good on the damage. Well, EU,
1v3. 20 seconds. Can't really get the spike. Flashing 4. Okay, nice round from Valorant.
Val will not allow him to get even 1 of them. Advantage, guard.
Yeah, they handled that very well. They detected the long B presence early. They didn't overplay the hand there. They kept fading back. They kept chaining the utility to keep them at bay. Eventually, they force them through a Molotov. They take a lot of chip damage. And just in general, we are able to see the guard hold on defensively there. And so they
Tex
will take
gets
the
the op out. Thank you, Observer. Press and tab.
One to take the map. If M80 secure it, we extend the OT.
Attack
you know
op.
how it goes.
Yep.
Not holding a default, really. Nothing over towards Showers, as we can see. And honestly, are they gonna do something crazy over towards Showers here? Yes, they are. So they're gonna peek out over towards Showers, the one place that isn't being watched in this default.
That agent, it makes sense.
So they've done the most perfect thing. Everyone else now just needs to delay. In terms of the delay, it's kind of all down to the Viper. Smoke and wall.
I don't even know if they used any utility to clear that out.
They drive the whole way, and now they get detection at long with the guiding light. And they're going to split this flank up. They're going to have all routes covered. Shift. This could be very dangerous depending on timing.
All right, here we go.
3 people on site.
Determine if we have extra overtime, or if it will
Only
be
thing right now that will be super OP would be taking the TP.
Still not underway as of yet. I mean, this is perfect from M80. They're just not giving them
they
anything.
might take the TP with that trip.
Reveals the player on the back. And now all of a sudden, the guard
Yeah,
are
they
going to
might
back
take the
up, see if
TP
they
with the
can
trip.
maybe
2 people
isolate.
here.
The thing they don't know
Oh god, they
about,
did the
though,
most perfect thing because
is
of the
that
trip.
the brim of Koalan was made
It's a
his way
big kill.
all the way over towards Fountain. Nismo still gets one. The teleport gets used to come
Brim
back
check
over
this?
towards A. But the numbers are good for M80. We've got a 5v3.
Yeah, they're able to get across the spike to A at the
Oh,
very
Trent goes
least.
heaven.
They are at a 2-man disadvantage in this post-plant hold. Trent, though, is aggressive
boy.
inside heaven. And they're also playing
And the
aggressive
op
at
sets
elbow.
up spawn.
So there's still some ways
This is
in for
kind
the
of
Guard
scary.
here.
Trent got an orb as well. He only needs one kill for a showstopper. This could be unbelievably massive.
Oh.
Valen, first contact, he just taps at it, no worries. Here comes the follow-up.
Nice shot.
Oh, he's flashed and he finds the shot onto Xander. Oh no, not like this. All of a sudden, we're down to a 2v2.
Wait, Trent got another kill.
Showstopper earned for Trent. Doesn't know where to spend it yet. John Cutie on the corner.
All up to
He
John.
takes down
It's
EU
a good
instead,
plant
though.
for him.
Now the paint shell's re-earned. Timing not gonna earn out here. John Cutie would
No
have to
time
have
on
it
this.
right now, and he's not gonna be able to.
Nicely done.
Trent will
Nicely
technically
done from
clutch
Trent.
it up for
What
the
a strong
Guard.
3v5 from them.
Take number 3 and
Everyone
2
did
straight
fantastic.
overtime.
What a beautiful
Double kill
pivot.
plant
Things were
for
looking
Trent to
rough.
get the
It was
ult
a
here. Made the
3-on-5,
difference.
but they made the call, the swap over to
Strong
the
round.
opposite site. They put
Dude, this is a
Trent
good
in
map.
position in heaven. Tex
Bind really
plays the
delivered on
hop
this. It was great.
perfectly up close and elbow despite the pressure that was being lobbed at him. And then when Trent's called upon, the clutch, a beautiful Yuso showstopper and paint shells to kill the clock and take the victory. And that is big. That is a win that they absolutely required. It's a map that they were the favorite coming into, but M80 certainly caused a bit of a disturbance with their own first half performance. Made you start to question exactly how that thing was going to go, but in the end, while it took extra rounds, the Guard took care of business and they go up 2-1.
It's definitely tippable from M80. And again, I think the overarching reaction for M80 still has to be, look, we just needed to get one of the first 3. That had to have been
Who do I
some
want
sort
to
of game
qualify?
plan
Dude, I'm
early.
fine with all of them.
Coming on winning map 1, though, could have been a mental shift saying, all right, we took away their map, let's just win ours on Haven, and then all of a sudden this series is ours for the taking.
How close
Not
it could be.
necessarily the case, but
Like
I
that,
still think
both teams are
overall
good
for
enough,
M80,
man.
You're happy with the
It's
fact
fine,
that you got
whatever.
through the first 3 maps being very competitive map you've never played before, and on top of that, you still have a chance to make your way into map 4, map 5 that are still pretty darn good for you overall.
It's crazy
That
to
said,
think,
though,
Shift, that this one round is why this series isn't over yet.
The thing is, you can't think about that. If you're
Elizabeth,
Tarik.
thanks for that, dude, of
Out.
course.
Like things happen.
It's just funny. It's like when in hindsight, you just think
It's
about
nice
it,
when
you're
we
like,
get good
man,
games.
one round, this thing could have been over already. But
yeah,
M80 have a lifeline. They look sharp.
Do you
like
think
said. I think
Fusion's
that does build
Sencom
some
could be good
confidence in their
content?
ability to, like, get some work done on Bind and like show, you know,
I mean,
a pretty good
maybe.
look at themselves. I think all things considered. But
Maybe
the Guard
Teats.
do
You could
indeed
wrap
get
it
the job
into
done.
a all-in-one.
and I think the thing too about M80 is how well they set themselves
could,
up for this map in the first place. Like,
How do you make
getting
content
yourself a
content
huge
out of
offensive
Fusion
start.
stuff?
The double initiator worked out really nicely for them, but then on defense, it just took them a little bit too long to figure out how they wanted to use the Fade in the Sky in terms of, do we just get information and then just be happy with that, or do we get information?
I don't know,
and
man.
then
The comps are
challenge into
a
that
little bit
information? It was more of the
crazy.
latter early on, and obviously it really wasn't working out for them all that well. Eventually that changed, and the tides turned just a touch. But yeah, interesting things to say the least. I'm sure that would be a conversation point for tournaments and competitive events future if M80 find themselves on Bind. But for us now, we have to send things back over to Bach and the desk as we have a 2-1 tally. The Guard currently find themselves up.
Yeah, I think you're asking the wrong person, Teats. They're like they're the team that I hate watching the most.
These two
Kind of massive headache.
faced off against each other back in the grand finals of playoffs. And if you remember correctly, map 1 starts out close, then map 2 is a blowout, then it's close maps 3 and 4. And we're on pace currently to match the pattern that was
Take out
developed
Mike
there.
saying massive
As
headache.
This time we do make it into overtime, but Tanner, it's gonna be the Guard who is walking away victorious here on Bind, albeit barely.
Yeah, and I know that Dustin Shift kind of hit the hindsight of, you know, this series would be over,
Sure.
but it's very clear that that has been erased from the Guard. From map 2 to map 3, map 2 obviously a different look, but coming into this one, they're down 4 to 8 at the half. They were probably pretty surprised by the strength of the M80 first half. I think maybe they underestimated
Two
them
teams
a
should
little bit, but
get
then
promoted and
again,
one
they just
team go
buckle
down.
and they get it done.
They did get dangerous.
I get where you're coming from, but like from a business point of view, it makes more sense having like the orgs that
Ascent ended, it was a 4v2.
they've kind of like
They very likely could have taken things into
signed
overtime.
with from the
No guarantees they
beginning.
would've won there, But
Like,
here,
I get what you're saying from a competitive point of view, but from a Riot and org point of view, this is like the best for the ecosystem, really. It's not great for tier 2, but in terms of like it being sustainable, it's the one.
Victorious, and that is a stat we don't often see line up. First bloods to successes, 12 for M80, 14 for the guard. Obviously, there's no direct correlation because there's not necessarily a guarantee that those rounds were always the rounds they won, but it is an interesting stat to see. But the one that does continue to be true, and it was what we saw in the last map as well here, the post plants for the guard, rock solid. They have looked so incredibly good. I'm pretty sure they were 11 for 12 on Haven, and they are 9 for 9 here.
Orgs don't have any say though. Yeah, but they're also paying salaries, etc. So they kind of do. It's more just like they kind of do have a bit of a say. Obviously not the final say, but they have some influence. Dunk 7715 with the prime. Thank you, bro. Thank you. Chat, you remember the slug club? You know what to do. Let's see some slugs in the chat. Thank you very much, mate.
He went 25 and 18. His movements with the satchels were incredible. He really understands.
They should make the VCT Ascension winner play in the last one's qualifier. I definitely agree with that one. If we're having this weird time where it's on at the same similar time, and it's done beforehand, I agree with that, yeah.
In the first half, to go back to maybe the guard kind of underestimated.
I mean, they would have a rough time, I think, with all the demos that they've shown, but at least give them the opportunity. I agree. But I think next year the times of everything's going to be changed up in terms of when tier 2, etc. is. That's what I would imagine, but we'll see.
They were really just fighting on site. I think you could go back to that first half and probably
like in an ideal world, right? You got two. Let's try and think about this. Is there enough mobs in that? So you get two splits. So we've got January, say Jan, Feb. That's split one. Then in the beginning of the third, you have Masters. What am I doing? This is gonna be so dumb. Okay, so the beginning of the third, you have Masters. So that's split one. Then you could have tier 2 qualifiers, whatever. Then you could have, and in